I now call the March 6, 2025 Senior Citizens Advisory Board meeting to order. Has this meeting been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the Nevada Open Meeting Law?
Yes, it has.
Thank you. Would the Deputy City Clerk call the roll, please?
Chair O'Rear Cameron,
Present.
Member Pataretu,
Present.
Member Galati,
Present.
Member Mosdeen,
Present.
Member Drum,
Present.
Member Lee,
Present.
Member Graham, excused, Member Tilzer.
Present.
Thank you. We have a quorum, Chair.
Thank you, Deputy City Clerk. Item number 3, public comment. Comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. If you wish to be heard, come forward and give your name for the record. The amount of discussion, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed, may be limited. Do we have any public comment today? Hearing and seeing none. Item number 4, for possible action to approve the final minutes by reference of the regular meeting of November 7th, 2024. Do I have a motion or amendments? Anybody want to make it a motion?
Member Drum, I motion to approve.
So we have a motion to approve the final minutes by reference of the regular meeting of November 7th, 2024. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? So moved. Item number 5, presentation from Dr. Carrie Brower and April Grimaldi. Dr. Carrie Brower is from Live to Ignite, and April Grimaldi is from Multigen Home Mods, and also Dr. Carnova Culinaris, physical therapist, regarding physical therapy programs and home modifications for senior citizens, all wards. Please come forward and state your name for the record.
Hi, my name's Carrie Brower, physical therapist.
Hi, my name is April Grimaldi, occupational therapist.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Carnova Culinaris. I'm a physical therapist.
There you go. So I'd like to say thank you very much for having us today. We do appreciate this opportunity to speak with you all in regards to physical and occupational therapy services for the seniors in the home. I do just have a brief, just kind of quick intro into this. So again, my name is Dr. Carrie Brower. I'm a physical therapist and own Live to Ignite Physical Therapy and Wellness. I started my practice in 2021 with one mission in mind, and that was to help seniors stay active, independent, and safe in their homes. Today, we're excited to share how mobile physical and occupational therapy is changing the way we care for our seniors in the community. Just a quick brief statistic, aging in place is a priority, but it does come with challenges. Our senior population is growing rapidly. Between 2011 and 2019, it grew by 46% and is expected to trend upwards. So with that, of course, we do have more challenges with quality care providing to these seniors, especially the ones that do not have transportation to get to where they need to go to receive this care. And of course, as I'm sure that you all are aware, falls are a big thing that happen with seniors, especially when they're in their homes. And the more falls that they have, the more hospital readmissions, which of course increase the hospitalization stays and monetary needs for that as well. Just so you know, the CDC does list physical therapy as a top intervention for these fall prevention. And in my opinion, occupational therapy is just right up there with it. So with all three of us, we do bridge that gap between home health, who is limited in visits that they can provide, as well as the seniors having to be homebound. With occupational and physical therapy services provided as an outpatient clinic under Medicare Part B, we have a little more room to be able to work with these clients, one-on-one, full-hour sessions for more visits in their home. Seeing these clients in their natural environment makes all the difference. We can assess how they move in their own space, navigate daily tasks, and identify potential risks before the accidents happen. Whether it's safely stepping in and out of a shower, improving strength and balance, or adjusting home setups to remove these hazards, mobile therapy creates real lasting improvements in these individuals' lives. Beyond fall prevention, as I mentioned before, transportation is an issue. So this is a great opportunity for these seniors who might not be able to get to the clinic to have somebody come and provide the therapy, occupational or physical therapy needs in the home to them. We work not only with them, but we do work also alongside their caregivers and their families to be able to teach them and educate them on how to keep their loved ones safe. So as we can see, the demand is clear for therapy services. Just to give you kind of a quick story, that something happened personal to me not too long ago with one of my clients. She had a hospitalization stay. She was in the hospital for 2 days. She then went to rehab for 2 weeks. Upon immediately coming home, I was able to get in and see her right away, in which I was happy that I was able to do this. Because during our first session, I immediately noticed something still wasn't right. After further assessment, I suspected a serious injury with her hip. I took pictures, I documented the findings. I was able to provide this information to the doctor because her appointment wasn't with her doctor for a whole nother week. With the findings that I presented to the doctor, she immediately sent the patient back to the hospital. Unfortunately, the patient did have a hip fracture that had gone undiagnosed through her hospital stay as well as through her rehabilitation stay. So this patient is now, has gone under surgery, has repaired her hip, and is officially back to her daily life. And this is an experience that shows the difference between personalized care and an overstretched system. Hospitals and clinics are often understaffed and overworked, making it easy for things to slip through the cracks. But dedicated therapists like the three of us up here have that time and that focus to be able to really dedicate to those clients and give them that care that they need. I'd just like to end on a little bit about my business personally. Again, my business is Live to Ignite Physical Therapy and Wellness. We provide one-on-one physical therapy services in the home under Medicare Part B, out-of-network benefits, and private pay. Our therapy services include, but are not limited to, pre- and post-surgery, rehab, fall prevention, balance and mobility training, strength and conditioning, along with wellness services. Our goal is simple: to help seniors to stay safe, confident, and independent for as long as possible. Mobile therapy is making this goal a reality and reducing falls, improving mobility, and transforming lives one senior at a time. Thank you very much.
My name is April again, and I own Multi-Generational Home Modifications, and our focus is providing home safety assessments along with occupational therapy services under Medicare Part B. Our biggest focus is making sure that our seniors can age in place. Home health does sometimes go out after a client is really discharged from a hospital. They will make basic generic recommendations, which can be as simple as remove the area rugs or install night lights. In order for seniors to be safe at home, it needs to be a lot more detailed with that. At Multi-Generational Home Modifications, we're in the home anywhere from an hour to 2 hours doing that home safety assessment. We're thoroughly reviewing the whole entire home to make sure that they can be safe, to decrease their fall risk, and make sure that they can remain independent. By providing occupational therapy services, when we're seeing that client, we're assessing their transfers and their ability to complete their ADLs while in their home. So the focus is huge on aging in place, being independent, and being safe in the home. Our clients are served all throughout the valley. We're not just restricted to one area, so we are able, the biggest thing being in the home, we can have that individualized plan of care, and it is focused. All three of us have small businesses. We're not focused on productivity standards, so we can be very personalized in their care and make sure it's focused on not what goals we might have for them, but what's appropriate for them and what they want, and we work together as a team to create that and reach those goals that they have established. That's what the business is about. Carrie and I together do a lot in the community. We go to independent living facilities and assisted living facilities, and we educate the seniors on how to decrease their fall risk. We're doing blood pressure checks. We're doing educational talks on pre and post surgery. We're doing educational talks on dementia and stroke. Whatever their need is, we're willing to present that education to them. We also host a health fair twice a year. It's in May and November. This is our 3rd year of doing this. And again, the focus is for seniors to be proactive in their care. You know, being able to have our businesses, we want to help the seniors, but we also want to provide them resources in the community so they can be proactive. It's very difficult to make a decision on what type of company to use when you're under stress because you all of a sudden have a new diagnosis or a new injury. The other thing that we do together is we provide, during September, there is a week in September, it's National Falls Free Week. We partner with the Nevada Coalition and we do a balance screening test. There's 4 assessments that are completing, and we will then provide the clients with a report regarding that assessment that they can take to their doctors. And we also give them education on different topics to help decrease their fall risk and provide different programs that are available to help to decrease their fall risk. So as you can see, we're very focused on senior care, being advocates in the community and wanting our seniors to stay independent for as long as possible. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you today. My name is Carnova Colinares, and I'm a doctor of physical therapy. I am originally from the Philippines, where I earned my bachelor's degree in physical therapy and practiced for 4 years before moving to the United States. I later obtained my doctor of physical therapy degree from Utica University in upstate New York. For the past 16 years, I have been dedicated to serving patients here in the U.S., 12 of those years right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I am also the owner of RK Home Health Services, a therapy company where we specialize in providing in-home physical therapy for senior citizens, primarily the U.S. Department of Labor and Medicare patients. Many of my patients are former energy employees who worked at the Nevada test site. They are seniors living with chronic conditions like silicosis, cancer, COPD, and many more. Our mission is to bring personalized physical therapy directly to the homes of seniors. As we age, mobility becomes a crucial factor in maintaining independence and overall well-being. Many seniors face significant barriers to accessing therapy, whether due to medical conditions, transportation challenges, or simply a lack of awareness about available resources. In-home physical therapy ensures that seniors receive the care they need in the comfort of their homes, reducing their exposure to large crowds and potential health risks. Physical therapy also plays a crucial role in fall prevention. According to Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the leading causes of falls among seniors include leg weakness. Number 2 is loss of balance. Number 3 is polypharmacy, which is the use of multiple medical conditions. Even a single fall can lead to detrimental injuries and a decline in overall functional independence. Let me share a short story about one of my longtime patients here in Las Vegas. I have been working with her on and off since 2015, so it's been 10 years. She used to experience frequent falls, which eventually led to frequent hospital admissions and her becoming wheelchair bound. Due to dementia and multiple serious medical conditions, she has not been able to regain full independence in walking. However, through in-home physical therapy, she has maintained the ability to transfer safely, helping her avoid complications like pressure sores, joint contractures, and muscle atrophy that often result from prolonged immobility. There is also a reduction in her hospital visits. Beyond the physical health benefits, physical therapy also supports emotional and mental health. Many of my patients look forward to their therapy sessions because it gives them a sense of purpose, engagement, and confidence. It's not just about movement, it's about maintaining dignity, independence, and quality of life. So Carrie, April, and I are deeply committed to serving our senior community. That's why we are eager to explore opportunities to collaborate with the Nevada Senior Advisory Board to raise awareness and expand access to mobile therapy services, whether through community outreach, educational workshops, or partnerships with local organizations. We can work together to ensure that more seniors can age safely, confidently, and independently. Thank you, everyone, for your time, and we look forward to your questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do want to ask Deanna Rear-Cameron for the record. Can you, although I know what ADLs are, can you please define ADLs for everyone here on the board and anyone who might be listening on the recording? Thank you.
Absolutely. ADLs are activities of daily living. So every day you get up, you get dressed, you go to the bathroom, you take a shower, you get on and off the toilet, you get in and out of the shower. Those are your ADLs that you do daily. Then there's IADLs, and those are like your meal prepping, your laundry, and your cleaning of your home. So as always, to any senior, especially if they're living at home alone, it's important that they can be safe and independent with those tasks.
I have to commend you on the ambitious goals and the service. I'm impressed.
Thank
My
you.
first question is, how do the patients reach you? Because usually there are two problems. Usually getting to the place, physical therapy, and booking the time factor. And it always happens after the fact. I mean, you need it now. If the person cannot move, it's not 2 weeks from now or going somewhere. So how do you connect with the patients? I'm just wondering whether this is something reachable, or can a patient reach you, or has to be through an organization, a hospital, for example?
So we get calls from various places. Patients have reached out directly to us. Actually, I just had 3 calls this week from a patient directly just saying, I'm looking for physical therapy services, can you help me? And then I walk them through the steps. We make sure we do a benefits check through their insurance, and then we kind of do the footwork for the patient at that point. We will contact their doctor to obtain that order. As soon as we obtain that order from their physician, then we'll schedule them and get them on the books right away. We usually will get them in within the same week that they contact us. Unlike a lot of the busy clinics that see, the statistic is they can see up to 200 patients a week. So they're very busy, so sometimes they can't get a client in for multiple weeks, where our schedules, it allows us to be able to get into them right away. So we get referral sources directly from the client reaching out to us. We get them from directly from the doctors themselves. So we, have done a lot of networking, and we connect with multiple different doctors and clinics and facilities. So the doctors will contact us directly to send the referral source over. We do word of mouth, so there are multiple ways that patients can get in touch with us, absolutely.
My other question is, what about insurance? Is it easy to get your services? Or because at times I'm just wondering, will all different plans and do the major insurance companies cover you, Aetna and the ones that are in Vegas?
Right. So all 3 of us are credentialed with Medicare Part B, and Medicare Part B does cover our services at 80%. And then a lot of times they'll have like a supplemental insurance that'll pick up that additional 20%, in which case our services would be covered at 100%. Now, if they have a Medicare Advantage plan, we are considered out of network at this time with those Advantage plans. So depending on what plan they have will determine how much it'll cover us. Some of them cover 100%. Some of them, there might be a small copay. So it just kind of depends on the plan itself. And then if all else needed, some clients would like to pay out of pocket. And so we do have self-pay services as well.
Yeah, last question is an inside tip from you as far as getting coverage from the other insurance companies, because of course they're going to default to going somewhere, but in order to get home coverage, is there any special request that the patient has to make or the doctor has to write down, or?
We are a mobile outpatient providers. So what we do in the clinics, we do it in the home. So there's nothing really special about the referral. As long as it's physical therapy, the patient can the doctor can just send us a referral, and we run the insurance. And if the patient is eligible, that's the time we call them and schedule for in-home visits.
Yes, but does the doctor have to indicate patient cannot go to a physical therapist, needs a mobile, or needs someone to come to the home because of mobility issues or fragility and that kind of thing? It's just
Home health has that requirement to be homebound. We are not home health. We're considered outpatient, all three of us, so we do not have that requirement, so it does not need to specify that on the order. The order just needs to say OT or PT referral for evaluation and treatment. A lot of the insurances that have out-of-network benefits do have some coverage packages as well. So even though we're considered out of network, sometimes it can be covered. We would just have to run their insurance, and we can pretty much run the insurance between 24 and 48 hours. So even if we weren't covered, we would be able to let them know soon, so there's not a delay in care.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, Charles Lee, Ward 5. What's the difference between physical therapy and rehab?
So physical therapy and rehab. So physical therapy does provide rehab. So rehab is a means of getting somebody back to their prior level of function. So physical therapists and occupational therapists both provide rehabilitation to their clients. I think maybe a bigger question that we get is what's the difference between physical therapy and occupational therapy? Because we all provide rehabilitation services.
Yes.
I'll let you, because you do.
So physical therapy and occupational therapy, we work really well together. We collaborate a lot together. There are a lot of areas that we do overlap in. The biggest thing is occupational therapy does focus more on ADLs, which we talked about was the showering, the bathing, and the dressing. But we can work on balance, and we can work on exercises for their arms and their legs as well. But the biggest difference is that our focus is ADLs and making them safe and independent in those.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to come. I of course, understand how vital your services are. And as an aging in place advocate, I wanted to make sure everyone heard and knew that these services are out there, because a lot of times people will just go to, inpatient, and there is that opportunity to go outpatient, and I think that's something that we need to get the word out. So I'd love to ask the board, if you are working with your council person or mayor, and you have an opportunity to invite them to events, I think that would be wonderful. Getting more education out in the community is how they're going to hear about it, like your question was. That's how we can help them, and that's how we can help our older adults. So thank you once again for taking the time to come down here. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you all for having us.
I just want to make a final message on this, because it seems that personal experience with Aetna, for example, they've been very proactive and making phone calls constantly, even though I might visit all the doctors that I need to, that they want to make the home visit. And I'm wondering, I'm hoping that service, I will throw it to them. I will inquire with Aetna anyway to find out whether physical therapy is also available as your services, because it will be definitely a plus. Because again, from personal experiences, sometimes you have to travel way far and no available dates.
Right.
And it's after the fact that you're going to get the service. It's more just something that they put down, but it's not helping the patient. So I'm going to inquire as far as that. But you indicated that you are with a specific insurance company, right?
Well, we're credentialed with traditional Medicare Part B.
Right.
And then any other Aetna, United Healthcare, AARP, TRICARE, we would be considered as out-of-network for. So they do still provide the services, it's just what the plan will cover based on whether will it cover 100% or will it cover 80%, and each plan is going to be different. So that's kind of the difference between being credentialed with Medicare that'll pay the 100% or 80% and then supplemental pay 20 versus a Medicare Advantage plan or a private insurance company. They each will come up with their own plan as to what they'll cover for physical and occupational therapy services. They all cover it, it just depends on how much they will actually pay for it. And you know, absolutely, if you can call them and talk to them and you know, advocate for it even more, that would be fantastic, and we would greatly appreciate it. I think the biggest thing is that we've mentioned before, we are considered outpatient physical therapy, and a lot of times when individuals are calling their insurance company, they'll say, oh, they're gonna give me therapy in my home, and a lot of people don't understand that outpatient can be provided in the home, so they automatically go and put it under home health, which is not what we are. We are outpatient physical and occupational therapy.
I'm glad you said that, because I will be contacting Aetna and specifically saying that to make sure, because they're always asking for suggestions, and they are very proactive, and I think it would be a coverage that every senior who cannot or should have the option to
Right.
have. Really,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Vito.
you.
Thank you.
May I ask a question?
Oh, sure.
Oh, thank you. David Tilzer on the board. When it comes to the insurance, are there a certain amount of visits that you guys are able to make to any specific home that's related to the insurance that the insurance will cover, and then, or is it unlimited? I'm assuming it's not unlimited.
It's not unlimited, but there's also not a cap. It really just depends. As long as there is a skilled need, we can document that there's a skilled need and the patient is making progress, then we can get the visits covered.
Okay,
But,
because
I'm sorry.
I did have an issue a few years ago in another state where I was told the person, the patient, went over their limit of visits, and when I looked into it for them, it turns out that every 15 minutes was considered a visit. So if the person was there for an hour, it was considered 4 visits.
Oh, no.
And they went over their limit. So I just want to make sure that's not an issue with this.
That there must have been something wrong with billing, because that should not have happened. 15 minutes is not enough time for a visit. It's usually an hour service, getting one-on-one care.
Okay, and the time you spend before you even start this, I think is excellent. I personally had to go through it for a while, and someone did come to my home first, and they told me what rugs had to be taped down or removed, showed me how to get in and out of the bathtub properly while holding on, how to reach up and reach down, and they spent well over an hour with me, and I had no idea how many issues I had in my home that I had lived in for many years that were potentially a problem. So the way you do it sounds great, and thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you again, ladies. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 6, report by Gregory Gray, Management Analyst 1, regarding senior issues received by the Department of Neighborhood Services, all wards.
Gregory Gray for the record. Just wanted to bring your attention to 2 issues that we have received through our care coordination program. I wanted to express to seniors that are dealing with HOA fines or violations that from our experience and from helping other seniors, we want to make sure that when seniors are receiving citations that they will accrue fines on a weekly or a daily basis depending on the violation. We are urging seniors to resolve that citation to the best of their ability and to respond to the violation to let the HOA know that it has been resolved to stop the accrual of fees. We're also asking that if they are not able to respond to those violations online, that they can write to their HOA to make sure that they have a documentation of the citation being resolved. We have also had some calls with seniors experiencing physical or verbal abuse, financial exploitation, or isolation. We are urging any seniors that are experiencing these issues to call Adult Protective Services at 702-486-6930. It is a message line, so you would leave a message and a case worker will get in touch with you to determine the situation, and they will submit the case for review and investigation. If any seniors are experiencing these issues or need help or guidance with other issues, we urge you to call the City of Las Vegas Care Coordination Program, 702-229-1200. And that's all I had to report.
Thank you. Item number 7, report by board members regarding senior issues and events within their council wards and at large all wards. Before I go on to the first one, I do want to welcome our newest board member, and that would be David Tilzer. And he is actually from my ward, Ward 4, Sun City. Yay. We have someone from actually in Sun City. Welcome. We are so happy to have you.
Thank you.
And first we have Ward 2, Vito.
Yes, nothing much has occurred. However, the monthly breakfast buzz with the councilwoman, and to reiterate what I usually say about it, it's a wonderful time because you do get quite a few seniors, and to meet the local police officials, and usually the captain is there. And also you have the city marshal. So you get coverage from both ends on what they do, and a question and answer usually is very helpful for everyone. Some of them are specifics, other are general questions that it really makes attending that meeting worthwhile. I wish more people would attend, but it's always a start, especially taking place at the community center. And other than that, there will be art in the park on the 5th of April, again as attended by the community, and it's nice to get out. And that's about it. Thank you.
Ward 3, Jennifer Drum.
She disconnected.
Okay, and Ward 4, myself, Deanna Rear Cameron. So I attended the Sun City Resource Fair, and that was with Councilwoman, and also the mayor did come, and that was wonderful, and that's where I first met David, which is great. And during that time, I actually wasn't at the table as much as usual because these are my older adults that I've been working with for almost 2 decades. So it was wonderful to go around to the vendors that I know, the ones that I didn't, and make those kinds of contacts, but also just to network, as I call it, with the older adults and just hear what's going on in their world. That's one of the biggest things that I always love to do and have been doing. And also, a lot of the calls that I'm getting, honestly, they're always the same thing. It's always about housing. It's always about HOA issues. It's about where can I move? I just got notice, they're selling the house. It's all of the typical housing issues that we hear of and see of for so very long. Also with utilities, wondering how they can get lower utilities. And the best thing for them to do is literally call the utilities and tell them that they're a senior and what programs do you have. And to make sure that they're getting on their website if they are computer savvy and finding out what some of those programs are, because they do have some great things that they will come out with throughout the year. And then they have things that are ongoing. The other thing is definitely still isolation. There are still a lot of isolated older adults, and being able to get into their homes. The perfect example is our speakers today, because they are a service that's in the home, so they're going to see things. And they are mandated to report these things. So I think it's beautiful when we help these companies that are mobile get in so that we can get a better eye on it. Because let's face it, as you always hear me say, we've told them not to answer their phone. Be careful opening your emails. And don't answer your doors. So how do we get information to them? By finding ways to get the education and work with the companies that are out there who do get to go into their home. A lot of cognitive challenges coming to the surface. We are still in the top 3 when it comes to Alzheimer's and dementia, state of Nevada. And it's only predicted to get worse, unfortunately. So I think it's important that people understand the amount of abuse that can happen when there is cognitive challenges, because they're not really aware, and because they need our help, they need our assistance. And there's a lot of help for that too out there with the cognitive. And the security and safety concerns, oh my goodness, this is worse than ever. In my ward in particular. Now, Sun City itself is probably one of the best, and Metro will tell you that, because they have their own internal services, and because everybody is probably the best neighborhood watch I've seen in my lifetime. But outside of that, in Ward 4, there is a lot going on. Some of the seniors in Desert Shores, they don't really know what to do because it's gotten so bad, and there's always SWAT teams, et cetera. So I just do my best to help guide them in who to call, what to do if they see anything going on. And I do want to suggest, before I finish, one of the best things that I have ever done is really watch on Nextdoor, the neighborhood app. I see all the time seniors posting things that they need on there. And what's interesting is sometimes they give a little too much information, kind of dangerous. So I reach out to them privately, let them know that I'm on the board, that I do have the resources, and to please be careful with what information, because if you're saying you live alone, those same safety concerns are right there. Now they know where to go. They know how to look up your name, especially if you're a homeowner, see your address. So I just really want to encourage everyone on the board, if you're not already on Nextdoor, get on there, because that's where you can really find some seniors to help, and especially those that are isolated, because they may not be coming out of their house, but they're on that Nextdoor talking. So I think it's a great idea. And that's it from my report. And now we have our new member, Ward 4, the mayor's appointee as of yesterday, David Tilzer.
Thank you very much. I am new with the board. Today's my first meeting. I'm looking forward to working with everyone. As Deanne said, I do live in Sun City,
Yes.
and obviously everyone there is involved with this group. We're all seniors. We're all looking forward to April 1st, and that is the day that the outdoor pools open, and we get to see the people we haven't seen all winter. So that's when we find out what everybody's been doing for the past few months. So that's always exciting, catching up with all our old friends. I am active in Sun City. I'm on my sub-HOA board, so I do get calls from people that own homes within my area, and I try to stay on top of whatever they need, as long as it's within the jurisdiction of our sub-HOA. I will continue to talk. I've been telling people in Sun City that I have been offered this position and accepted it, and I will do whatever I can for the people of Sun City and anywhere else, as long as they're seniors. And like I said, I will do the best I can. There are two people here today, Matt and Julie, who live in Sun City. They're great friends of my wife and mine, and they are also very active there. They're on the patrol, they're on all different kinds of committees, and they really spend a lot of time making sure everything goes well. So with people like them just showing up today to show support, I think it's great, and whatever I can do to make things better for everyone, that's what I want to do. And I want to thank Mayor Berkeley for asking if I would take the position, and when I said yes, nominated me yesterday, and I was voted through. So I'm looking forward to it, and thank you to the board.
Thank you. And one thing I did forget to say about our Ward 4 coming up is the next first Tuesday that will be on April 1st and is going to be in the theater there in Sun City, Summerlin. And the speakers are wonderful. I'm making a joke. I'm actually speaking at this. Got to make jokes, right? We can't be serious all the time. And then also I have William Voy with the Senior Law Program. He is the director over their pro bono, and he does education out in the community, and he's also a former judge, retired judge. So he and I are going to be speaking up on that, and we are going to cover elder abuse, fraud, and scams. And then available for questions. And of course, Metro will be there to talk about theirs as well. So wanted to make sure everybody knew about that upcoming. And board members, you do not have to be in our ward to be there. So if you would like to come and get the education, and that way you can extend it over to everyone in your ward, we'd love to have you. Thank you. And now we have Ward 5, Charles Lee.
Hi, Charles Lee. I have two things to present. Well, the first one, spring and summer is coming up, and a lot of seniors like to get out and walk. And I'm referring to like at Doolittle, for sure. So in the evenings when the marshals are not around, a lot of people take the leash off their dogs, and it's kind of, becoming a problem. So my suggestion would be to install a dog walk, a gated area, for the dogs, for them to exercise, because they do have the room there. So that's the problem that I have up there. And the second one that I would like to share, I received a reappointment to the board until August of 2028. So I'll be there. All right, thank you.
Stay healthy.
I tried to. So that's it for Ward 5. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ward 6, we have Caroline.
Thank you so much. Caroline Mosdeen, Ward 6. I have a few things to go over with everybody, but first I'd like to obviously welcome David. As I mentioned to Deanne before, David is in her ward, but he's from my area in New York, on Long Island. We grew up not far from each other, so really welcome.
Thank you.
An extra special welcome. Couple things I'd like to let everybody know. There was a document shredding event this past Saturday at the Centennial Hills in Ward 6, which got very overwhelmed. I was there probably 20 minutes before opening, and I was probably, I can't tell you what number, I'm going to say 180th on the line. It was where I probably was never going to get in. So I'd like to thank all the other wards who are welcoming us to the next shredding event, which I believe is this Saturday.
Sun City.
This Saturday, Sun City, so I'll probably get over there an hour earlier. But thank you to all the wards. It's wonderful that the council people have done such a nice job setting that up, particularly at this time of the year. I had heard from many of my neighbors and seniors that they were going through things because of doing taxes. They're doing their taxes for this year, and they said, gee, I think I have things in my garage. And I said, well, welcome to the real world. That's where mine are too, and I'm pulling them out. Because we wind up with holding on to too much, and those things are not the kinds of things that you can just rip up. They do have social security numbers. They have some very pertinent information that you want to be careful of. So if anyone is listening, please make use of the document shredding that the city is offering. It's a wonderful, wonderful program, usually offered twice a year in pretty much every district. Specific to Ward 6, has been started a new quarterly book club called either Literary Libations, because there will be some libations there, or Reading Between the Lines. So I'm not sure which is the current name they're using it for, but it is, right now they're reading Storming Caesar's Palace, How Black Mothers Fought Their Own War on Poverty. So it's an interesting aspect of life. So it's at the Centennial Hills Library. Speaking of utility bills and things of that sort, this is still running. The utility tax sewer rebate program which began on January 2nd and ends March 14th. But there are some slots still available for people to get in to get this started for themselves at Centennial Hills Adult Center, Dula, East Las Vegas, Howard Liburn, and Stupak. So if you're interested in something like that, I'm sure you can, if you don't have access, haven't seen this flyer, you could probably get it from Care Coordination. I'm sure Olga or Gregory would be able to get that out to you. Also, the free personal tax preparation assistance, it is a healthy program for people who need it with a taxable income of less than $67,000. A few limited locations this year as compared to the past, but it does still run and will be running. So it's by appointment only. Different locations have different numbers. Well, actually, there is one number that you can use to make an appointment. It's 702-987-4625, or you can log on at www.nvfreetaxes.org. That's nvfreetaxes.org to make an appointment. Or once again, I'm sure Gregory would get that out for you. I'd like to remind people about free community meals for seniors 60 and over at the East Las Vegas Library on Mondays and Thursdays, at the Clark County Library on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and at the Whitney Library on Fridays. Some of them are a little further than others, but meals are from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and it can be a great way to not only get a healthy, nutritious meal, but to meet other people and see what other resources are available for that. Now on to the first Tuesday. I had to make a choice this Tuesday. We have a bit of a problem because we do have some conflicts of things you want to go to. We have the Sun City or Ward 4, but actually the Northwest Command Center is in Ward 4 also. So I have to make a decision on that since I'm a little closer to the Cheyenne location. I was over for the Elder Protective Services program this past Tuesday. It was given by the Las Vegas Metro Police Department by their detectives talking about their elder protective, elder abuse. So it was an interesting program. I unfortunately got there a little later than usual, so I was kind of in the middle. But I also did pick up lots of information and flyers that I'll have available for the board so that they can have this. This is all from the police department, but they do have a resource. You know, sometimes just a simple flyer is all people need to get them started. It has the Elder Protective Services number, the Attorney General's Medicaid fraud number, Bureau of Health Quality, Care Quality and Compliance, their number, Public Guardians, Southern Nevada Adult Mental Health, and Desert Regional Center. So resources are out there. We just sometimes overlook them or are overwhelmed when it comes to, well, where do I get this kind of thing? But the idea is to get started on one of the numbers, and at the worst case scenario, you might be told to, hey, try over here. But eventually, you'll get what you need because our city is a wonderful city and has many, many resources available to everyone, but particularly to seniors and veterans. Health, there they go, you can hand those out. Thank you. Security, as mentioned by Deanne, is a problem all over, and the police department is willing to admit that. They keep track of all of that. We're certainly far better than many, many cities, and they do everything that they possibly can with, you know, short staff and all of those kinds of things that are part of the daily life. But nonetheless, there are other services that I'd like people to be aware of if you don't know about it. There is a crime prevention specialist in the Northwest Area Command. She will go out to your home and assess some safety problems as far as burglaries and break-ins and things of that sort. So if you have an interest or a need for someone, or just, just an interest to say, gee, what can they do for me? Sometimes we've had programs on this, but this is a one-on-one basis at no charge. But simple things like your door frame, which your front door can be kicked in easily. Well, change 2-inch screws to 4-inch screws. Things that we as homeowners don't necessarily know about. But all these little things that add up, talking about lights or cameras, this would be a good place for one, or gee, you've got one here, but it's not so effective if you moved it over there. Things like that, things even in the house about music to play or dogs or whatever. So the crime prevention specialist is available via the Metro Police Department. And I'd like to just finish up with one thing that we did as part of neighborhood. Nancy Bruni, Ward 6 Councilwoman, has her Bocaditos, which is a get-together. It's the second Thursday of the month, so it's next Thursday at Centennial Hills. Well, in part of that, she does so many things for the community, and all of a sudden I got a flyer, and then many people got a flyer, talking about a neighborhood. And this neighborhood does not have, it's not a gated neighborhood, and they had some need for palms to be cut back. And they don't really have much of an HOA or whatever. So we all volunteered, and she also got a small business to assist called Islandscapes. And it was excellent because for 2 hours worth of work, she got Republic to donate a dumpster. And for 2 hours worth of community work, we did just I'm very pleased to say, we did such a beautiful job cleaning up their entranceway and assisting one senior who had a backyard full of things that were dangerous, that shouldn't have been back there, and she had no way to get rid of them. So people, jumped in and helped with that as well. So there are many, many ways of helping the community, and our council people are right ready to assist and to point out where we can help. And the follow-up to that is, if you haven't heard about a group called Just Serve at justserve.org, there's two sides of it. One side where you can put up a need for some assistance, and the other half of it where you can volunteer. So if you want to volunteer for one item or one day or one half day or whatever, or ongoing, such as serving meals at some of the locations that do serve meals. So that could be ongoing, or putting food in the trunk of people, or boxing it, or things of that sort. So I had helped with the people for California, actually, to box and prepare packages to go to California for their fires. And these kinds of things are available. So if someone finds themselves with a little spare time as the days are getting longer, and maybe you want to get out, and you want to get out to a safe environment where you can not only feel good about what you're doing, but feel that you've taken part in helping the community. So justserve.org would be a place to look. And that's it for my lengthy. Thank you very much, everyone, for your attention.
Thank you. And I would be remiss if I did not point out that this is actually the SALT brochure, the Seniors in Law Enforcement Together, and I am the chair and president now. This was given over to me by the person who had been the chair for a very long time, which is former Assemblywoman Kathy McLean, and I'm still in touch with her all the time. And so these resources and everything, and Seniors in Law Enforcement Together, is literally coming back to life this year, been talking with Metro, and that's exactly why I'm speaking that they were the ones that asked first. And this is actually our old brochure, but it still has all of the great information in it. And we will be having a website very soon with all of this same information on it. So anytime you see a talk from Metro that's going to be talking about elder abuse, et cetera, please make sure you go. So for the interest of time, now I will move to Ward 6, Elizabeth Patterton.
Thank you. I'm Elizabeth Patterton for Ward 6. Honestly, I do not have much to report. It's been a long time. I was able to be at the community center serving the meals for the holidays and mingle with the seniors. And I'm also helping my neighbor. She's an 85-year-old lady, little big to go around. So I go and get the food and give it to her. That is basically I'm doing right now. And yeah, I was given the opportunity to extend my serving here for a little bit more time. I appreciate that, and let me know when it is up. This has been a pleasure serving here. Thank you.
Thank you. And item number 8, discussion for possible action regarding next steps and future meeting topics of the Senior Citizens Advisory Board, all wards. Now, I know we have a running list of a lot of the things that we've talked about, and I'm sure there still are hot topics. So maybe we can put together that list, in your spare time. Just some of the things that we've discussed in the prior meetings, so that we at least have our list and we're not redundantly continuing on with the same things, and also for the, sake of time. But if anybody does have any that you would like to bring up right now before we put our list together so that we have our list to continue, please let us know.
Well, still warm on the stove here. I was thinking about having more presentation by insurance companies, health, if they will come, or is it a conflict of interest? I don't know, but the thing is to have, so that we can ask some key questions that are key concerns as far as coverage. For example, having the physical assistance in the home, and it's a start to educate ourselves, but in the process, it's an awareness on their part, because as I said, I will contact my insurance company to find out what they cover and what it is, because usually maybe they do cover, but if no one asks, they won't provide. So just a suggestion.
I do like that suggestion. There are so many insurance companies here, it would probably take up several meetings just on that one subject. One of the best things, because each one has such different coverage, is definitely to encourage everyone to reach out and find out what is in their coverage. And then as we get closer to the open enrollment, or as they call it, AEP, in October, that would be a great time to get maybe, like we did today, 2 or 3 of them that can just briefly give us some information. But to go over coverage, I can tell you right now, I've been on appointments with older adults because they're not really sure, how to understand all this. It takes at least an hour or 2 just to go through the various types of coverages, et cetera, that each one has. So there's a lot of varying differences, like you said. And so one of the things I would suggest on that also is to get out to some of these health fairs when they're going to be there, so that you can get some one-on-one time. But I do agree with you, and it's better if we have the actual health care companies behind it, the insurance companies, rather than the brokers. Every now and then a broker, yes, but I have personal reasons for saying that because of past board experiences years back. So, but I do think it would be great, and getting the information from insurance is number one. You should always be in contact with your insurance and asking them to explain the things in your policy, because you do get that policy in mail and it is online. And definitely getting some events. I think that's a great idea, to get some events where we have all of them there, and then that way people can go to their specific carrier. I think that would be a great idea. Nothing wrong with those events. We definitely need them. Does anyone have any possible action or future meeting topics? Okay, and then we'll get a list so that we already have them. because we do have so many. And speaking of future meeting topics, we do have a tentative speaker. Everything is always fluid until we know if we have a quorum for next month. But it is a wonderful individual with the Secretary of State that will be talking exactly what we all need at this point, and that's some of the fraud and scams out there in the security side, some of those things. So the way we'll have him here is if we all have a quorum, so I hope everybody can be here for the next meeting as well.
I just want to make a comment on that, is that I just read something about the scams. They're getting so sophisticated with artificial intelligence that it's very, very difficult for the general public to see the difference. And so it's becoming very, and I think they should pass legislation at this point to stop it, because we're becoming just chopped meat for all of them.
That's a big subject in itself, AI and legislation. Because we're in a legislative session right now, that would be something that I can help you on outside of this to find a group that might be able to put something forth for the next legislation in 2 years. Yeah, that's a really good one. It is getting interesting, isn't it? Item number 9, and also we will be, so the prior person that was under our other mayor, she was the vice chair, so we will be looking to, at our next meeting, correct? Is that what we're doing, or? Okay, yeah, so if anybody feels like they might be up to doing the vice chair position, just let myself and Gregory know, and then we can work that into the agenda in one of the next couple meetings. Item number 9, citizens' participation. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the board. No subject may be acted upon by the board unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, come forward and give your name for the record. The amount of discussion on any single subject, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed, may be limited. Do we have any citizens' participation? Seeing and hearing none, we are now adjourned, and our next Senior Citizens Advisory Board meeting is set for April 3rd of this year, 2025, at 1 p.m. here in council chambers.